Today on The Boot Guy, we're talking about the REDWING 4215 American-made steel toe. The 4215 from REDWING is one of the few shoes in the line that has this direct attach welding system that actually becomes more comfortable as you wear it and you own it. One of the biggest high points on this boot is that it is waterproof. It is a basic non-insulated 6-inch boot, kind of built along the ideas of it's going to be a 4-season boot where you're going to have to change out your socks for the winter time and put on something a little bit heavier, but in the summertime you can get by with just this and a nice pair of cotton socks. REDWING uses their super sole on the bottom, so you know it's going to last because the super sole has been tested time and time again to be a really long wearing, durable sole. Now I wouldn't say that the super sole is their most comfortable sole when it comes to bounce and energy return, but if you need something that's a little bit more durable than your common, dual density injected molded type soles, the 2.0 sole is probably one you should start looking at. REDWING does a great job with this leather. They use a really nice, heavy-duty, soft leather. But that tends to be a problem with this boot because of who's buying this boot, service guys and whatnot. They're wearing through the toes a lot quicker than they should because the leathers, though it is strong and tough and it's hard, it's just a little bit too well done for a work boot of this caliber. So if I could suggest one thing is that you add either tough toe or boot bumpers to this boot before you really start wearing it and before you dig the crap out of the toe and you expose the steel toe, which is going to only weaken the life of the boot. Eyelids, laces, and speed laces is always on REDWING's. Top notch, good stuff. It's single piece pressed eyelids for the speed lace. It's not a thin press. It isn't like on cheaper boots where they're so thin that you can bend them. These have actually got some meat to them. So you're not going to break these out right away, though. Like any speed lace, it gets caught on the right thing. It's just going to rip itself apart. But this is a really nice speed lace. On the back of the boot, REDWING incorporates this little piece of leather here. So it's kind of like an Achilles movement flex area. So when this boot is tied down really nice and tight, you're going to get a really good fit and the boot's going to move with you as you move and flex with it. I did mention that it's American made, and for that alone, it's worth taking a look at. That it's a direct attach welted boot that's made in this country, which is a pretty interesting thing when you think about the technology that goes into making these. Though I've looked at a lot of them over the years, the thing that I found that most people find disturbing when it comes to a lot of the REDWING direct attach like this is the little section right here where they have to bring this welt around and they have to connect the two pieces. It's usually never dead on. It's usually never perfect. They don't line up exact all the time. But this is not a weak part of the boot. And this little section here isn't something that should discourage you from buying this boot. At the top of the boot, the nice padded, glove leather collar. It's a really nice touch. It's just enough. It's not a lot. It's not a big bulky 2-inch pad. It's basically 3/4 of an inch all the way down. It's got a cutaway. And it's got a nice little polypropylene pullback here with REDWING's logo on it. Now inside this boot, underneath this wonderful Comfort Force footbed is a hard footbed. And since you got a hard footbed underneath this, what that basically means is you have to break this boot in. Even though this thing is great, these Comfort Force insoles from REDWING are great insoles. Perforated holes, presses air around. This boot, because of the hard footbed, because of the 2.0 sole and its thick leather, this is going to take some time to break in. You just don't put this boot on and go to work the next day in it. You got to spend a couple days making this thing fit your foot, get nice and soft and supple so you can spend 12 to 15 hours in it without having to worry about it. So that's the REDWING 4215 American built steel toe direct attach welt. If you've ever worn this REDWING, please comment below. Let guys know your opinion on this boot. If you want to know more about this REDWING or more of the American-made REDWINGs that are built for work, stop by TheBootGuy.com. There I'll have a really nice list and some other reviews about the American-made REDWINGs. Please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. It really helps out. And if you're about to buy a pair of these or buy any boots, stop by my site and check out what I got to say about the boot that you're about to buy. See if there's anything there that, strikes your interest. If there's some questions you have about a future purchase, please feel free to email me. Alright, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching. So like I said, with the 4215, sometimes when the sole gets a little bit nice long